The petroleum downstream refers to oil and gas processes that occur after the exploration and the production phase. It spans from refinery all the way to the final retail point at a pump or a commercial site. Products from the refineries go through oil traders to bulk distribution companies who sell at the terminals to the oil marketing companies who then retail at the pump. The downstream sector reaches consumers through refined products like gasoline, gas oil, jet fuel, kerosene, lubricants, waxes, natural gas, LPG, and many more. There are over 100 oil marketing companies in Ghana. Welcome to Energy Quest. So, who are your members and what do they do?
Association, basically, it's a group of marketing companies who market petroleum products from the depot to the retail station or the filling stations.
What are the remits of your association?
The association is basically there to influence government policies on the downstream industry, as well as to also educate our group members, and then also look for the best practices for our industry. So we tend to advocate for our members as well as they interact with these agencies I've mentioned.
So, Mr. Ajmendia, where do your members fall in the petroleum value chain?
We are the tail end of the value chain, and that's what we call the downstream.
Okay.
We have the upstream, is where we really get the oil from the ground or the sea. Then we have the midstream, which is the refinery, where we turn the crude oil to petroleum products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, aviation fuel, LPG. And we, at the downstream end, pick it from the depot where it's stored to the filling stations or the petrol stations, as we said it in my local parlance, and also to the institutions like schools, colleges, hotels.
Okay. So, per examples of your members, you mean the likes of Well, Shell, Total,
Petrosol,
okay,
Sementia,
Santor
Top Oil, Benap Oil,
Oh, yes.
Santor
Okay.
Oil,
Okay.
PNP.
Okay.
We have all of them.
Okay, I guess those are indigenous
These are
ones.
communities. Yeah. There are 160 odd institutions. If you say we could mention all of them now, I'm sure we'll not finish the program.
Yes. So who regulates the downstream sector of the industry?
It's we have the main regulator being National Petroleum Authority, otherwise known as NPA, and we have the other supporting agencies who also regulate us in their own state. Environmental Protection Agency, we have Ghana Standards Authority, we have Ghana National Fire Service, we have the MMDAs also regulates. So we have LUPSA, which is the special planning. It used to be called Lands Planning Department.
Okay.
I always had difficulty pronouncing that one. But they also are part of the regulatory agencies, with their main head being National Petroleum Authority.
Okay. So what are the major challenges of this downstream sector? And amongst them, which is most priority if it can be fixed for you?
The first one is not the one which is major one, is the illicit fuel in the industry. The way they find themselves to the industry becomes a problem for us. And it somehow, sometimes we get, especially 2016, we got so much inundated that we didn't know the fuel we were having. So that's number one. Number two is the taxes. The taxes on the petroleum products. We are not there to tell government what it should do, but the management of the taxes in terms of compliance, in terms of payment schedules is something it's really worrying. Because, our industry employs a lot of people. We employ more than 40,000 people.
Yeah.
That's direct jobs. Then indirect jobs are many. So it's really, and we contribute more than 500 million taxes every month.
Yes, one of the largest, right?
So obviously, we are major stakeholders that we should be listening to. I can tell you, we don't even know whether we are paying duty, import duty, or we are paying ad valorem tax. It makes management very difficult. So we wish we can get some hearing from the government. The third one is the education of our marketers. Like every institution, the human institution is very important. And we really want to make sure that we get them competent so that they can do their work properly and serve you and I better at the station. And they keep on growing. So it's a big task for us to do that. The fourth one, by no means at least, is the consumers. You and I, we need to really get consumers really educated. So you understand the industry as it stands now. People still think that government is the one who is pricing the fuel, but it's the other way round. We have the absolute responsibility to price the fuel. So it requires more education with the consumers.
Amongst the many oil marketing companies in Ghana is Santol, an indigenous Ghanaian company full of verve and ambition, carving a niche for itself. Santol is our showcase for today.
As you know, Santol is a fully indigenous company, and we make sure that we stick to our motto of working within the community. Most of our stations, 90% of our stations are in the north. And when we start a new station, we contact the opinion leaders to help us employ the youth, because we believe that if they have a stake in the station, that is, we've employed community members, they will also make sure that the company grows and we serve our nation, Ghana. So this way, and you will meet Farid.
So, Alaji, it's been nearly 2 years and you have over 30 stations already. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
Kudos.
Thank you.
So, what next?
Welcome to Santol.
Thank you.
This is the house of affordable fuel and quality fuel. Santol has been in existence for 2 years, and the dream is to get a Ghanaian brand that Ghanaians can trust.
So Santol is wholly Ghanaian owned?
Yes, and fully managed by Ghanaians. It's a deliberate attempt. There is a point you want to prove that Ghanaians can also do it. Santol has two visions: the bigger picture and the immediate one. With the immediate one, I have a gift for you. Can we have it?
Thank you. Okay. There's a fuel credit card.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the first of its kind in Ghana and in the whole of West Africa.
Okay.
It operates like any normal credit card that the banks issue. So once you have this card, you can fuel in any Santol outlet and pay later.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the bigger picture is Santol fueling all the mining companies across West Africa. We've already made some strides and we are still pushing hard.
So what makes Santol different?
We are very unique among our competitors in terms of our branding. We are very unique in many ways. One, our service stations are unique in terms of branding. Two, we provide affordable services. Our prices are the lowest among the oil marketing companies in Ghana now. Three, we have a card that's unique in the sense that it's the first in the system whereby a customer can fill up and pay later.
So Michael, where is Santol placed in the downstream sector?
We are among the first 5 currently in the country. And this as a result of the fact that we have a lot of stations in almost every region. And also we do a lot of volumes to our corporate clients as well as the other industrial clients too.
I see you're quite particular about your corporate clients. Tell me more about the fuel credit card you have.
The fuel credit card is a unique card that has been worked with Zenith Bank, and it will enable our customers to buy fuel and pay later. It's unique in the sense that it's not in the system. We're trying to put that in the system. And Santor is the first company to do that. And we're glad it's on course, and very soon we'll be launching it.
Okay. Do you have any other unique selling points?
We provide excellent customer service. Attendants and managers are well trained to receive clients and attend to their needs at the stations. We also ensure that our prices are affordable. It's lowest among our competitors on our stretch, and we don't compromise on quality. We ensure that our products are up to standard, and also quantity. The customer gets exactly what he buys from us. We don't shortchange our customers. We ensure that our engineers visit our various stations every 2 weeks to make sure that the pumps are standardized and cleaned, so that we deliver quality fuel to our customers. We are also certified, ISO certified, and we went through a rigorous exercise in getting the certification, and this puts Santor above our competitors.
Today, we are featuring a trailblazer, an exceptional lady with very strong convictions and a determination to succeed. She first made footprints downstream. Now, she's breaking records in the upstream in Ghana and across Africa. Gina Malkani is partner and COO of the Springfield Group. Springfield E&P is the first independent African company to drill oil. So, Gina, tell us who you are.
So, my name is Gina Malkani. I am Ghanaian, even though a lot of people say I'm not. I was born and bred in Ghana, just down the road, actually, Kolibu Teaching Hospital. I was born to parents that moved to Ghana at a very young age. My father moved to Ghana when he was 17 and came with nothing but made something very great of himself. So he was the biggest role model in my life. He was the person that I didn't want to be like, I wanted to be him. So that was my upbringing in Ghana here. Today I'm in the energy industry, but I've had to work in many different industries to just learn the ropes and learn how things are done before ending up in this space.
So clearly, your dad has been very influential in your development. Tell us more about him.
Yes, my dad, in my opinion anyway, was a very great man. And I know a lot of people who would say the same about him. He was small but mighty, very much like myself. Worked for different firms, and 10 years later, he started his own businesses of imports and exports and so on and so forth. After that, he went into department stores. So I don't know if you've heard of Chandirams.
Okay.
Right. So that was my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So he did it all on his own with absolutely nothing in his pocket, with his own goodwill and his hard work. And he made it very big. And from Chandirams, he went into manufacturing because that was ultimately where his love was. He wanted to be creating, products and producing them. So Decoplast is my father's company as well, where they are a free zones company. They're one of the largest exporters of plasticware to West Africa.
He must be a superhero.
He was.
Okay, tell us more about your own career journey.
Well, as far as career, we're talking about career. You have your more formal career, and then you have the informal one that started way before the formal career.
Okay.
I started actually working quite a lot with my father. I learned watching him. So I learned how, everything was being manufactured, how things were sold. So I learned a lot of my soft skills by watching him as well. Then while being in university in the UK, I was working simultaneously. I was in too much of a hurry to make money. While being in university, I was working at a publishing firm. in selling advertising space. And you know how hard it is to sell advertising space and speaking to people you do not know. Convincing them to part with money. So I learned a lot through that. In fact, that was one of the biggest lessons I learned. And I learned that if you could convince someone you did not know to buy something from you, you were becoming a superstar. Absolutely. So I joined the automobile industry. I worked for PHC Motors, and I was instrumental in marketing all the passenger cars. I was responsible, I should say, for marketing all those Tata vehicles that you see all over the country. So I did that for a while, and then I moved on to VW and Porsche from there. And then I've also worked in the pharma industry, in the wellness and health industry. And then I moved into the oil and gas sector, and I moved into Springfield. As I mentioned earlier, this is where I wanted to be. Because, well, for two main reasons. One, Ghana's oil industry, in terms of the upstream, in terms of the supply of oil. I started to see that a lot of Ghanaians were entering into the sector. Before, it was controlled very much by the international trading companies, or in the upstream, it still is controlled by the international oil companies in the world. And two, there aren't any women in this industry. There are very few women. Very few. To me, it's very sad. So that for me is very much a big issue that I work towards in all our spaces here. Yes, working here has been one of the greatest pleasures in my life and the greatest blessings, And I'm very happy to say that today that I feel that my contributions have brought Springfield to where it is today, being the only indigenous African company, not just Ghanaian, African company to drill a well and find oil in deep water, and to be the only African indigenous company to be operating and owning an oil block of our size.
Congrats on
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a very long journey and a tough one. But then again, no good thing comes easy.
So what's your role here at Springfield?
So I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Springfield Group of Companies. Now, the Springfield Group of Companies are a cluster of diverse companies within the oil sector. So we work from trading of oil barrels to going into infrastructure to also going into the upstream oil company, which is the exploitation of owning a block. But we also have service companies that were set up specifically to provide services to Springfield E&P, as well as the government institutions like the ministry, like GNPC, like Petroleum Commission, which work completely separately.
Clearly, you're a big woman.
No, I don't like to look at it that way. You see, Springfield, for us, Springfield is very much made of every single person who contributes to make Springfield what it is. It is not the senior management, it is not me, it is not
team.
Yeah, it's absolutely teamwork. Here we have a very big thing on, even for example, the security guards. If they didn't open the gate for you, you wouldn't enter my building to see me. So everyone plays an integral role that contributes towards our success, and we make everybody know that.
So I noticed you have a number of women in the house. Do you have any particular policy for women, anything in favor of women?
Absolutely. It's very important for us to try and achieve gender balance as much as we can. So we actually make a conscious effort to seek women. But at the same time, I'm a very strong believer of merit. So we don't hire women for the sake of women and trying to just sort of
very good.
To fulfill the gender balance box. That's not what we're trying to do here. Just to explain where we are at Springfield, 70% of the most senior management are women in this building. Absolutely, for Springfield. So one of the most important things that we do here at Springfield, and is very close to all of our hearts, is we work very closely in the education sector. We provide scholarships for children, both male and female, down from the primary institutions all the way up to tertiary institutions. We work very closely with universities to encourage girls to go into the STEM program as well as become professionals of any kind to work in any industry, really. But the significant thing about our scholarships is 50% of all those scholarships are reserved for women and the girl child.
So, what's been your biggest challenge in your career in this industry, especially being male dominated?
So, well, one of the challenges is I'm one of very few, right? I'm one of very few. I mean, if you do the percentages, women, as I mentioned earlier, we don't really exist in this industry that much. So that's a challenge, and it's an unfortunate one, but it's one that I know Springfield, we as a team, we work very diligently to try and rectify it as much as we possibly can.
So, what would you say to women who are aspiring to be in your place to, enter the industry?
I think the advice I'd like to give is not necessarily to come into a male-dominated environment. I think the advice I'd like to give is to come into their own.
Okay.
You understand? And it's not about a man being there or not. I believe that the two genders have different things to offer and come with different qualities to the table.
I agree.
So as women, we must know who we are and what we're capable of. It's not about somebody telling you that. The other thing I think I'd like to say is that, your success and failures are not determined by a third party. There are people who will try and stop you, but you have to decide whether you want to be stopped or not. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also important to fail, because you don't grow from your successes, you grow from your failures.
So what do you want to be remembered for?
Many things.
Okay.
But most predominantly I can think of, being a part of making history in Ghana, in terms of what Springfield has achieved. That's number one, because I think that's very influential on women and men alike. But I'd also like to be known for aiding the whole concept of empowering women as much as we possibly can, to do as much as they possibly can. We are setting up a foundation. I'm setting up a foundation right now called the Gina Malkani Foundation, in which it is predominantly to work with women in every aspect. So, for example, you've got the girl child education, you've got women in STEM, you've got women in whatever spaces, professional spaces they want to be, but at the same time, women who are being abused, women who are being molested, women who are being raped, children, all of that. I'm a very solution-orientated person. So I like to find solutions for things, and I like to make sure things work as best as they possibly can. So as much as I can help women all over the place, I will do so, and I try to do so even today.
So in conclusion, your last words for our audience?
Never give up. Never give up. Don't take no for an answer. Be as stubborn as you need to be.
As Gina.
Well, more than me, in fact. As stubborn as you need to be. Never give up. Whatever your dreams are, go out there and conquer them. I tell my children every single day of their lives, go forth and conquer. I say to them in every birthday wish. I say to them in everything. Go forth and conquer. Try and achieve as much as you can, because this world needs people who are willing to do as much as they possibly can for the world to be a better place.
Did you miss an episode of Energy Quest? Watch all episodes on YouTube at Energy Quest TV or Kente TV. Also catch up on the Daily Graphic YouTube page and website. Energy Quest, looking into the future.